Hi, my name is Kara and I am here to talk yarn with you. So I have a bunch of different yarns here and this is bad because I need to be getting rid of my stash this summer, but I keep on getting more yarn. I have a few months to get through it, but we'll see. So I'm just here to talk to you about the yarns that I have gotten and I'm excited about and maybe my plans for them, if I have any, and yeah. So the first thing I have here is Borstet Alpakka, if that's how you say it, from Sandnes Garn. And it's in, I think, Jelly or Jolly Bean Green. Oh my gosh, I love this color so much. I think it's kind of like a Kelly green or like a spring green. And I don't have any specific plans for this yet because, I don't know, I just saw like Petrichor Knit where I got it and I was like, ooh, I want that. So then I ordered it all the way from Norway and I'm really excited for it. I don't have any plans for it, but you know that when I get excited about things, I will just whip out a sweater in like a few days. So this will definitely get used by the end of summer. I just don't know for what yet. And I also got some in this bubblegum pink or Pepto-Bismol pink, whatever you want to call it. I have worked with Borstet Alpakka before and I made a drop it like it's hot sweater with it and I loved how the texture turned out. And I know that a few of my testers and a few people have actually made my fashionably lace light sweater with it, so they also really like it. I'm planning to make a second drop it like it's hot cardigan because I'm working on the pattern for that now. So maybe I'll make that in this pink, but I don't really want to commit to anything yet because I like to just do whatever comes to mind. I'm pretty impulsive when it comes to knitting, so that's why I like to have a big yarn stash so that I can like supply my impulsiveness. But I'm not going to commit to anything, but this will likely become a drop it like it's hot cardigan or of some sort. Next up, we have a bunch of Cascade Yarns that they sent me. They reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try any of their yarns, and I've been eyeing their 128 Superwash because I've been getting into bulky weight yarns recently because they're better for summer. And there was a period of my knitting life, say for like a year and a half, where I only worked in super bulky yarns, which is fun and all, but like I live in Southern California and it's not always easy to wear like chunky weight sweaters all the time. So I chose out these colors. Oh God, I don't know what they're called. This one's like bright cobalt. This is definitely apple green. And I'm pretty sure this is fuchsia, but not in a way that's spelled typically. But look how beautiful these colors are. I for sure am planning to make a second V-neck sweater with this blue because this blue is just really fun for summer. I see it in all the stores and obviously I love this green because green's on my mind at all times. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet. I feel like I'm gonna wanna make some sort of set because I have like 8 skeins of it and that's enough for a set for me. Maybe I'll make it like a full like cardigan, top, skirt, or short of some sort. And this pink, gorgeous. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. Definitely gonna use it. I also have 8 skeins of it because I always like to ask for like, or get like sweater quantities at all times because I never wanna be in a position where like, I wanna make a sweater with some yarn, but I don't have enough of it. Yeah, so lots of plans with this one. Thank you Cascade Yarns for sending me this. This isn't sponsored in any way, but yeah. Next, I have this single skein of Lana Grande, and it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool, and it is 100 grams per 79.5 meters. And I have a single skein of this, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It seems like it's made more for like outerwear or like gloves or hats or something. It is maybe like not as soft as I'm used to working with because I do tend to choose pretty soft wools because I have eczema, so not that my skin's sensitive, but I definitely itch a lot and then eczema happens and it's not fun. So it is enough yarn maybe to make a top, but I don't know if I will make a top with it because it seems kind of itchy or it's just not super soft. But maybe I'll use it to practice crocheting because it is plied and I think plied is better for crochet. I don't really know anything about crochet yet. I'm just kind of messing around with it, but it's a pretty color at least. I have this Cascade Yarns Magnum and I don't know what any of the yardage is. Oh, just kidding, I found the label. It's 250 grams. Oh, that's a lot. Where for 112.5 meters. What's up with the half meters? It's for 12 millimeters. Okay, all right. So I can make like a top or a teeny tiny little top for this one. It's not really a color I tend to use, but it is really pretty. I don't know if you would consider this like purple or mauve or what, but it is really soft. And I do have quite a few skeins of this yarn that I haven't used yet in this like heathered blue, because it is like one of my favorite colors of yarn and I've kind of been hoarding it. But I'm gonna guess a back and forth top with this one. No commitments yet, but it's gonna be a teeny top for sure. And my last Cascade Yarns goodie is Cascade Yarns Aereo? I don't know how you would pronounce that. And it feels like it's a blown yarn, a chainette yarn. Ugh, I never know what they're called. Whenever I see a yarn like this, I just think, oh, it's kind of like the Feeling Good yarn by Wool and the Gang. And it's merino wool and baby alpaca with some nylon. And it is really soft. It's a really lovely blue. It's 100 grams for 220 meters. Maybe I'll make a skirt with this. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough for a skirt. You would think that I'd be better at like figuring out how much yarn I need for each project I make, but like, I have no idea. Things get so skewed. Like the first time I ever make a pattern, I usually like really get the sizing off, because like, I'll just go like, yeah, that seems long enough. And it's like not long enough at all. It'll barely cover like my boobs, but that's just how things go with me. The first sample I make of a pattern is most likely to be kind of a little janky at the first. Then I fix it in the second one, which is part of the reason why I always make a second one, because I like to fix my mistakes. But maybe a skirt, maybe shorts. Ooh, shorts would be kind of fun. It's really soft and light, so who knows? And finally, I only got 2 things, because I went to the Knitting Tree in LA, or the Knitting Tree LA today, and I was like, I don't need more yarn. But it was pretty fun to go into a store and like, I don't know about you, but like I love going to yarn stores because you can just like touch all the yarn. And like, usually I can't really tell if a yarn's gonna be soft based on like what type of materials it's made out of. I should know, like I know maybe that like alpaca is softer than wool, in my opinion, but that's about it. So I have Trendsetter Yarns Spessotille. I don't know how you pronounce that, but I have worked with this yarn before. I worked with it in a celery green, and I love it. This is like the only cotton that I've like absolutely loved, because it is kind of stretchy. Not that stretchy, but it's like softer. It's not as like strict as regular cotton is, and it's like a fun thick and thin texture. And the lady, as I was checking it, was like, what are you gonna make with it? And I was like, sweater, because it's so thick and thin, so it gives you a really cool texture. And I made one of my garter stitch tops in this yarn, and I love it because not only is it cotton, so your girl's finally working with cotton, but it gives it a really dope texture, and it really brings like garter stitch, which is like a super chill stitch and like honestly super underrated, to the next level. And I've been kind of trying to find more yarns that have this type of texture, and like failing a little bit. So I was like, might as well just get more of it if it's at this local yarn store. And it's in this really deep purple. It is purple, but I'm gonna make a sweater out of this, and it's most likely gonna be top down. And because it's gonna be top down, that means I'm going to make it in stockinette, because I am not purling in the round if I can avoid it. But I think this will give a really nice loose texture, and it'll be great for like summer cover-ups or just like a chill top. Now I just have this little bit of gold yarn, this gold thread I got. And honestly, I got it to match my nails, because I just got my nails done for the first time in like nail art, and it has this like really fun gold accent. So I was like, ooh, let's make a top that matches my nails. So I have some green and white yarn that I can use, although my nails aren't white. I guess it's clear. I was like, my nail lady was laughing at me because I was like, ooh, it's such a nice color. And she was like, it's just clear like dip powder that you put on. Like, that's just the color of your nails. And I was like, haven't seen those in like a year. But gold thread, I have worked with gold thread once before, but I'm thinking I'm gonna hold it double to give it more oomph. and it's 25 grams for 200 meters. So hopefully that'll be enough for a teeny tiny little top that I'm making for myself. But it's really just gonna be like an accent color in the middle, kind of like how my nails are. So hopefully it'll be enough. It seems like the knitting tree had a bunch left over, so I can always like go and get more because it's not that far. But yeah, it is an accent yarn. How can I forget about these? Because it's like right behind me, so I have 2 more yarns to show you. So this is some more yarn that I ordered from Olivia Yarn Studio on Etsy, and I love this yarn. It's like a bunch of strands held together, and I've been kind of like trying to think like how I could do this myself with all the scrap yarns I have, but like I don't really have yarn that's this pretty. I just love like the slight hints of pink. Don't know what I'm gonna make with it. Probably a top-down sweater. That's kind of my go-to because I like to do a top-down sweater because it's all knit stitches and it really lets the yarn shine through, especially if the yarn's like super like unique and accenty like this. I think this is honestly a yarn that's kind of intended for like journaling or like to like decorate journals. Like that's how it's built on the Etsy page, but I bought it and I was like, I'm gonna knit with it. So it does seem soft enough to do it. I just don't really know if I have enough yardage for it. So it might have to be a super cropped sweater, which is not typical for me, but that's really exciting. It's this really like, it's kind of like an Easter egg. Off season, but it's summer, so I can wear whatever I want. And finally, I have this other pink yarn from Olivia Yarn Studio, and this one is slightly less shiny, I think, because it's missing that eyelash yarn. So it's kind of more like a chill mohair that's has a little bit of glitter. It's pinks and yellows. It's really pretty. I think I'm gonna make a short sleeve bendy cardigan with this, and it'll go really well with like a nice like summery pink dress underneath it. Like I'm envisioning an outfit for myself right now, and I'm liking these ideas that I'm having while talking to you. I don't need any more sweaters, God knows, but like this summer I just have a ton of time because I have until October before I start my full-time job, and my only plan was literally to just get bored. And here I am talking to you about the yarn that I'm getting, and by the end of summer I do need to get rid of all my yarn and my knits because I'm going to like start over when I move to New York. But I don't need to worry about that for a few months because I'm not acting like I need to do that because I'm just getting more yarn, but it'll get done. It'll get done. And that's all the yarn that I have to show to you today. Hopefully I won't have that much more to show you for the rest of summer. I likely will because I have little to no self-control, and some companies will send me more yarn probably. Not that I'm complaining, I love free yarn, and I was really excited to try out Cascade Yarns. Now you can kind of see the chaos that's in my brain of just like getting yarn, going, ooh, that's pretty, and like staring blankly to try to figure out like what project I want to make with it. Honestly, I do a lot of thinking at the gym, so like when I'm just like working out and like listening to music, I think about like all the stuff that I want to make and like what yarns I want to use. So lots of time to think about that this summer. And let me know if you have any questions, and let me know which one's your favorite actually, because they're all like pretty different. I'd say there's only one super bulky yarn, and that's so different than how I used to knit, but I kind of am most excited about the cottons. Maybe. I don't know. That seems really strange for me because I used to just hate working with cotton because it just like is so unforgiving. But I think if I keep on crocheting, I think I'm gonna have to get used to working with cotton. But I don't think this is a cotton that you can necessarily crochet that easily with. Like, I'm curious to see how it would work up, but it's already kind of difficult to knit with because it is just like so different at each like strand. Like it goes super thin to like kind of thick. So if you get used to knitting with this, then like you're just gonna miss picking up this stitch, but we'll see. See ya.